Hello, kids. Let us continue to read this special issue of the National Geographic about the future of medicine. I stopped somewhere over there last time. So let us carry on with a good part, I believe. My nose is freaking out as I follow Chen on a tour of his labyrinthine lab at Yale, 像迷宫一样的实验室在 Yale, where his team is analyzing the characteristics of a variety of herbs to investigate their medicinal value. Amid the sighs and gurgles of various chemical experiments, I catch whiffs of black pepper, rosemary, camphor, ginger, chili, cinnamon, and other scents I can't identify. 他好像用很多种香料啊、药物啊，都在研究它们的药性。The back of my throat tingles. I think I might sneeze. I notice I am hungry for Thai food. 哦，我想起来一件事，I should provide more meaning to the words rather than translating almost paragraph by paragraph. I think I would do less of that and provide more vocabulary. On his desk, Chen has a bobblehead doll in his likeness. 这个还蛮有你要记得这个in his likeness. 根据他的形象做出来的一个头啊摇来摇去的那个娃娃。A gift from the staff. 他的员工给他的。It depicts him in a suit rather than the slightly baggy sweaters he generally favors. But it captures his thoughtful demeanor, receding hair, and large earlobes, which, according to Chinese tradition, signify longevity. Depict 这个 doll depicts him. Depict 的意思就是叙述、描述他，表达他，在一个西装里面，而不是他平常喜欢穿的松松的毛衣。但是他捕捉了他的 thoughtful demeanor， 深思熟虑的样子。Receding hair， 倒退的头发，就是发线慢慢往上，再掉头发啦。这个可以记起来。And large earlobes， 很大的耳垂。Which according to Chinese tradition signify 代表什么呢 ？Longevity， 长寿。On first impression, Chen may seem like 这个就是为什么我喜欢 National Geographic 这些很棒的图，还有他们的翻译，还有他们的叙述，这整个流程，他们永远有这些很棒的图。No time for that today, though. Seem like 看看是到哪里？On first impression, Chen may seem like a stereotypical advocate for traditional Chinese medicine. 一个很传统的、很符合形象的一个代表 advocate 推广传统中药的一个人。Though he has been in the U.S. for 5 decades since emigrating from Taiwan, He still speaks English with a strong accent, and at 74, he comes from a generation of Chinese that still has a deep attachment to many of the old traditions. But I didn't really know about Chinese medicine, he says, noting that as a child, his parents took him to doctors practicing science-based medicine. Chen has focused his research solidly in the realm of science, developing antiviral drugs for chronic diseases such as hepatitis B. But he has also wondered whether there were other cures based on herbs like wormwood awaiting rediscovery. 在科学的范畴里面，他的研究都是在科学的范畴里面 in the realm of science. Developing antiviral, 抗菌的药 for 慢性疾病 chronic diseases such as B 型肝炎. But he has also wondered whether 是不是有别的疗法呢？根据药草，像 wormwood 等待的要被重新发现。Now he has found one that may prove a breakthrough in cancer treatment. He opens a jar and hands me a pinch of a powder, a mixture of 4 herbs he calls 5906. Taste it, he says. I put a tiny bit on my tongue. It's bitter, with hints of licorice. During the 1990s, Chen noted that many cancer patients stopped chemotherapy because of its side effects, including diarrhea and severe nausea. Patients who completed the full course of chemotherapy tended to live the longest. So, curbing the side effects, Chen reasoned, could increase life expectancy. He also knew that Chinese medicine had many herbal treatments for diarrhea and nausea. Chemo 就是化疗，然后 side effects 副作用会拉肚子啊，很糟糕的头昏头痛啊。但是呢，病人如果完成了一个疗程啦 ，chemotherapy 的疗程啦，活得久一点，所以他应该是想要去治疗副作用。His colleague 刘淑慧是这样吗？ An expert in pharmaceutical chemistry who is fluent in classical Mandarin, searched classical Mandarin 应该是古文文言文 searched the Yale Library's large collection of early Chinese medical texts in an ancient book titled Treatise on Cold Damage, printed on slightly wrinkled bamboo paper. She found an 1800-year-old recipe for a mixture of skullcap, licorice, peony, and Chinese dates. 我都不知道这个是什么。Described as a treatment for diarrhea, abdominal pain, and scorching heat in the anus. 屁股很烧痛，肚子腹痛 abdominal pain, 还有拉肚子。Chen's team began trying different blends of the herbal formula. Over the past 20 years, they have proceeded from tests on mice to patients undergoing cancer treatment. Overseen by the National Cancer Institute, as Chen had hoped, almost all the patients who took the herbal formula experienced relief from nausea and other gastrointestinal distress. But something else happened. Their tumors shrink faster than those of patients who hadn't taken the herbal formula。除了副作用小了之外，居然肿瘤变小了。除了原来的头昏跟其他的肚子、胃肠的 stress 压力没有了，肿瘤都变小了。I didn't expect that, Chen says, but now the question is why? Johnson & Johnson and Bristol-Myers Squibb, both major producers of cancer drugs, also would like to know the answer. At a pharmaceutical conference in Philadelphia, I listened as Chen's son, Pai Kwan, explains to representatives from those and other leading drug companies what is known about how 5906 works. A Stanford University graduate who also has an MBA, Pai Kwan, 43, joined his father to form a company to market 5906 and develop other herbal drugs. He is dressed in a trim charcoal suit, and his fluency in Mandarin, medical terminology, and the Silicon Valley argot equipped him to bridge the worlds of Eastern and Western medicine and make him a persuasive advocate. After analyzing tumors in mice that were given the formula, Pai Kwan says, researchers noticed a significant increase in tumor-eating macrophages, which are white blood cells that gobble up cancer cells. Gobble up, 吃掉. The way the herbs interact appears to be the key. 这些混合的药的互动的方式应该是疗效的源头重点。That's really where the frontier lies. 这就是为什么，这就是未来frontier 边界远方，就是它的未来，它的未来就在那里。Pai Kwan says, 5906 is a cocktail of chemicals. 一个鸡尾酒混合的一个化学物的混合。Not unlike the drug cocktails that finally proved effective for AIDS patients. 就好像那些混合的药最终治疗了艾滋病一样。We are just unraveling the original formula and putting it back together in a modern, scientifically based therapy. 我们只是把它 unravel, 打散，原始的 formula 打散 and putting it back together in a modern, scientifically based therapy. 变成一个现代化的科学根据的疗法。To date, 到目前为止 5906 has been used in 8 human trials alongside different chemotherapy drugs and radiation to treat colorectal rectum column 这应该是肠胃就是下面的这个liver and pancreatic cancers. Pai Kwan tells the audience, we are hopeful that 5906 will become the first FDA-approved multi-herb drug. Afterward, several pharmaceutical reps pull him aside to speak privately. 就是这些大药厂的人把他拉到旁边，就跟他讲悄悄话了。Okay, this is where we stop today. 所以他们发现了一个药，可以用科学的方式，中药对于治疗癌症可能是有效的。 I think I would like to read a little bit more about these applications of Chinese medicine. 我们下一次再聊吧，谢谢。